Venom is dead. Many of our heroes have died in this battle. They're all being consumed by various forms of symbiotes and the god of death. How will the Marvel superheroes succeed now? This is the Comicstorian channel where I take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand what is going on in your favorite comic books today. We then read it dramatically back to you. Every Saturday, right here at the channel, we have been covering another chapter of King in Black, bringing you either a primary issue or bringing you all of the tie-ins to allow you to understand the full story that is happening here. Well, today, we're only doing King in Black issue number 3. It's the only thing that came out last week. For today, guys, we have a sponsor, and today's complete story is sponsored by MeUndies. MeUndies believes that comfort is more than just what's touching your skin. It's all about feeling comfortable in your skin, because you're a total badass, and what you wear should show that. MeUndies uses a sustainable, breathable, soft as heck fabric, and has endless styles to choose from. I've been buying and wearing MeUndies long before they sponsored us, and it's actually my underwear of choice for 3 years now, and I can say without a doubt they're the best underwear I've ever owned. Not only are they insanely comfortable, but they also come in great design, so I look and feel great. Never leave your couch again with a MeUndies membership, a monthly subscription that sends new pairs right to your door. With site-wide savings and exclusive sales, you'll automatically pay less for everything. MeUndies has an amazing offer for my listeners. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off your first order and free shipping. And if you aren't satisfied with any product for any reason, they'll refund or exchange it, no questions asked, because you don't want people asking questions when you exchange your underwear. To get your 15% off your first order and free shipping, go to MeUndies.com/complete. That's MeUndies.com/complete. So to catch you up to this point, Knull's arrived, he's conquered most of the planet, we've discovered that Dylan has secret powers that will allow him to fight against Knull, Venom has died, many of the Avengers have been consumed by symbiotes, and that's where we are now. Let's see what's gonna happen, guys. Dylan leans over his father's dead body, a tear in his eyes. And outside, Sue Richards and Blade fight against the growing horde of symbiotic monsters. Aided by Blade's vampire army, Sue yells over the comms at her husband, telling him that he has to hurry. "I can't keep the shield up forever," she shouts. Reed nods, turning back to the young Dylan, the boy who might be their only hope. But he's still distraught. Spider-Man leans over him, telling the young boy that he doesn't have to do this if he doesn't think he can. And Reed and Logan turn back to the monitors that show the remaining heroes. We all have our missions. Above all, protect Dylan. He's the key to freeing our allies and the world, he tells them before turning back to Dylan with a sad look on his face. Everyone ready? He asks gently. Dylan nods, rubbing the tears out of his eyes. My dad died. I need to hurt something, he tells the group angrily, and in a matter of moments, the heroes are throwing themselves against the symbiote horde, trying to clear a path for Dylan. As the heroes fight, one of the symbiotes gets close to Dylan, but the boy waves his hands, using his strange powers to blast that symbiote off its host. Dylan suddenly turns, though, seeing the symbiotic Captain America. You think you can defeat me, boy? You are nothing compared to us! We will devour the planet! Cap snarls at him and he throws his mighty shield. But Dylan raises his hand and he blasts the symbiote goo off of him. Sorry, Cap. I'm gonna need to borrow this. Dylan tells the hero. Cap leaps over him and Dylan knows that Knull is in the hero's mind. I hope you can feel this! Dylan snarls as he blasts the symbiote off of Cap. Above the city, Knull screams in pain, looking down. I see you! Finally! There you are, child! He says with a smile. On the ground, Cap comes to as a massive symbiote fist comes crashing down on him and Dylan. I can't push him back. I'm sorry, Dylan whispers to Cap, and suddenly a bolt of lightning cracks out of the sky, tearing through the giant fist. No, that power, familiar, but how? Knull snarls and he looks up to see Thor floating above him. It's called lightning. You would do well to become accustomed to it, villain, the Thunder God states, and he lands next to Dylan, asking the boy how may he help. Just have my back. I could do this. A little thunder would help too, Dylan tells him as he attacks another symbiote. That I can provide. Thor tells him with a smile as lightning crackles in his eyes. The battle is fierce, the Thunder God covering Dylan as the boy pulls the symbiotes off of the hosts. Finally, Knull has had enough, slamming into the street in front of the heroes. You! He bellows in anger, and Thor steps in front of the boy. Dylan, behind me, he orders. You're the one that they call Knull. Yes, I recall drunkenly killing one of your dragon pets once. Thor taunts the god. Knull smiles, telling Thor that he is the god of darkness, the god of the abyss, and Thor tells him, quiet, interrupting him. I am the last person that you will impress with your pitiful titles, so you may as well stop now. So you're a god, a king, good for you. Thor tells Knull as he launches himself at him. Now allow me to teach you what those words truly mean, Thor says as he swings his hammer. Knull dodges, slashing the god across the chest, throwing him back to the earth. He grabs Thor, slamming his head against the ground, choking him. Dylan runs up to help, but Knull swats him aside with a backhand. Dylan hits the ground and the black goo begins to grab at him, but he can't stop them. There are too many. Knull is too strong. Get off! Thor shouts angrily as he kicks Knull away. Don't you see? You can't stop me, the world is mine! Knull grins as Dylan is now covered in symbiotes, but Thor floats in the air. Mjolnir begins to glow and crack with energy. Nay, Midgard is under my protection. I have killed hundreds like you. All of them claimed to be the one true death, the living void, the end. And to that I say, I am King Thor Odin's son, god of thunder and lightning, and protector of every world within this realm. Thor bellows as he lifts his hammer. And when I say it ends, I have had enough, he cries out with anger. Mjolnir swings mightily, cracking Knull across the jaw, with the sound of thunder rumbling in the skies. His jaw flies free of his body, landing nearby. Knull hits the ground, his tongue swinging freely out of his mouth. The world will burn for that. Knull hisses as the symbiote goo forms another jaw for him. He points up into the sky, and Thor turns, the celestial's eyes beginning to glow, and they turn to look at the thunder god. Thor prepares to leap into the sky as they open fire on the city, but Knull grabs him, stabbing him in the back with a symbiote blade. You know the pain of all black, don't you? Well, now you have the honor of being killed by its creator! Knull snarls as Thor screams in pain. On the radio, Reed is yelling for anyone that can hear him, but it's Tony that breaks through, telling the other genius scientists to calm down. How do you expect to fight two Celestials, Tony? Reed asks, and Tony steers his symbiote dragon through the skies, explaining to Reed that since Dylan freed of Knull's hive, they've been getting along, and they slam into the Celestial. How am I gonna beat a Celestial? I'm not! Tony tells Reed as he and the symbiote begin to take over the cosmic being. I'm gonna make it my new favorite armor, Tony says with a smile. The Celestial turns, slamming its fist into another Celestial. On the ground, Knull looks at Dylan, who is now trapped in his symbiotes. I am the only family that you have now. Come with me. Let us talk, my son. Knull tells the boy, and Dylan screams, and on the ground, Thor gasps in pain, the sword still sticking through him. He looks up at his two ravens. Hugin, Munin, swiftly, find him! He gasps to the magical birds, and they turn speeding through the air in a blur. And in moments, they've passed into the galaxy looking for Knull's opposite, streaking across the cosmos. The Silver Surfer is coming! And there you have it, the conclusion to issue 3. This week, we literally only had issue 3 of King in Black, so that's all you're going to get from us this week. Next week, we got a bunch more tie-ins, which include Deadpool, The Black Knight, and another chapter of The Rise of the Valkyries. So if you want to see the next chapter of King in Black and know what's going on in this tie-ins, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Every Saturday is King in Black Day, guys, and I'm excited to have you be a part of that. Don't forget to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian, and you can also check out our superhero Dungeons & Dragons games over at our other channel, Comicstorian Gaming. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next time right here.